This video is about buying a tea business and how to do so successfully, taking the least amount of risk, highest ROI, and saving you time and money. Before you decide to buy a business, you need to set aside the amount of financial, time, and energy you want to invest in this business. Many people are looking for a turnkey operation where they don't have to show up and they're going to make money. That's typically not how it works. And when I say typically, I mean the more often you show up to work, the more likely you're going to make money, specifically more money. Understand that. Turnkey operations do exist. We run a turnkey operation. Virtually all of my businesses are turnkey. I show up, it runs. And when I show up, it runs better. Ideally, when you buy a business, you need to come in with the mindset that this is your baby. You need to build it, grow it, and make sure that it runs well, regardless of who's in charge. If this idea or concept is new, I suggest you check out the book, The E-Myth. It's a great book for entrepreneurs who are going to get into this business. Number 2, you need to be decisive. Once you decide you have this much time, money, and energy you're going to invest into this business, you need to stick with it. No one likes a boss, an owner, or an investor who says, yeah, I was thinking about putting in $40,000, but now I'm going to do $20,000 as a deposit. That's not how negotiations work. And when you get to the negotiation table, whether you're working with a business broker or going to escrow, it matters. Let your yes be yes and your no's be no. That decisiveness sets the tone for your relationship with that business. Yeah, you're going to be buying that business and maybe that conversation is just between you and the owner. But as an employer, as a manager, a person who's going to be dealing with expectations of time, money, and energy, it's very important to be decisive. And that starts before you even show up to the business. Number 3, transparency. A lot of people who are buying a business have never done it before. And there's this ego where you don't want to let people know that you're afraid of losing everything that you're invested in. That's a fear mindset. And then there's also this ego. That ego keeps you from asking for help. Yes, everyone is trying to make a buck here. When you buy a business, it's under the assumption that you want to buy it for the least amount of money and make the highest return on investment. That's how business works. Business doesn't work where you get a fair value. In business, if you're successful, it's not because you paid a fair price, it's because you saw the value. There's something called supply and demand. In business, you have to understand that there are limited businesses in this location, at this time, within your budget. Fear and ego is one of the biggest factors when it comes to a transaction, not just for the buyer and the seller. If there's landlords involved, if there are employees, customer contracts, those factors, fear and ego, will often make or break the business. Understand that fear and ego can often get in the way when it comes to that transaction, which is why a lot of people use brokers. By the way, Zen's Tea House offers broker services if you're wanting to buy or to sell. Number 4, timing. Timing is so important when it comes to buying a business or stepping into operations. I sold a business one time. The owners didn't show up for 6 months. Yeah, it ran. It was great in the sense that it kept going. But the employees, the customers, they were kind of left with a bad impression because the owners who bought the business, and yes, it was a turnkey operation, they didn't show up. They were just looking at it as a financial investment, and it is, but when it comes to a business, you have to understand it's people that make or break the business. All the people who have their hands on this business or business transaction are going to be affected. It's important to spend adequate time with each person who's involved in the business. Those are 4 key aspects of buying a business. Please keep them to heart. Hope you like this video. If so, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, comment below.